It's one of the famous songs, Nice One, Cyril. I can remember coming here and hearing that cry, Cyril Knowles.
It was an advertising jingle. I think it was for some loaf of bread or something like that, yes. Nice one, Cyril, nice one, son, and then they adapted it for their own purposes. And he was a very useful fullback.
He could certainly hit the ball, he could strike the ball really well, and he loved to attack any opportunity, and he enjoyed his goals too. And of course the song reached the crescendo when he actually scored.
Brian Moore's interview with Cyril Knowles on the big match in 1974 shows that Knowles was not only a great striker of the ball, but also a great thinker.
There's a bit of a story behind that free kick, because it wasn't on at first, was
No,
it?
it wasn't on actually, because Natras, the full-back, he was stood behind the wall, and there was no way I could get it round the wall unless I got him from behind the wall. So we shoved Ralph up on the outside, just inside the box, and Natras went out to mark Ralph, and then I told Martin to leave it.
Cyril was an ebullient player on the field. Loved it when things were going well, and you know, had great moments of his ability to pass, his ability to cross, and from time to time to hit. He didn't score poor goals, he scored spectacular goals, and loved every minute of it. But as a person was quite quiet. If you talk to him, he was never conscious of his own abilities as, you know, being among the top left backs in the country without any question.
Terry Neal thinks you're the best number 3 in the business and thinks you might get back in the England side. Not that he's trying to persuade Don Revie, but I think you really are. I mean, you're playing so well at the moment. Do you feel an England place is a possibility again?
Well, I'd like it if it came along, but I think there's 3 or 4 better fullbacks in the game than me at the moment, you know.
No stranger to the White Hart Lane dressing room, Chris Hughton was part of the set-up at the club as player, coach, assistant manager and caretaker manager, off and on since 1971 when he joined as a schoolboy.
I can remember coming here as a schoolboy, as a 13-year-old schoolboy, and walking into the club. I mean, in them days, you know, you had to make your own way to the stadium, and we took 3 buses from the East End of London, and then of course approached the main stand. And for us, it was something I can remember and remember very, very well. You know, the buzz. I think the buzz of 2 things, but the buzz of being asked to attend training at a top level football club, but you know, the wonderful Tottenham Hotspur that we'd heard so much about and seen their achievements, and to walk in that day was something very special.
We used to train here on a Tuesday and Thursday, so at that time we had a lot of homegrowns, but Chris, yeah, he came through and he's done really well.
Chris was a cultured attacking fullback and was a mainstay of the team during their FA Cup triumphs of 1981 and 1982.
But certainly for me, the pinnacle was the 81 Cup final replay against Manchester City, and I think probably because for most of us in the team it was our first real achievement of winning something, a domestic competition. The club had been starved of trophies for a few years. I can remember that the level of support that we were getting, and how vocal they were for every game, every cup game, right the way through that campaign. And of course to win it after replay on such a special game and such a special goal. So certainly 81 would be the highlight for me.
A great player and a great servant to the club who, after finishing his playing career, returned to the lane and was behind the scenes of many of the managerial regimes of the past 2 decades.
Super, and he's a great person too, you know. When I have to talk about Chris, I believe great person, and after great player as well. Very professional, very training every day, 100%. Really good player.
His record alone speaks volumes about the talent of Robbie Keane, a player famous for goals and celebrations. Signed originally back in 2002 after a frustrating spell at Leeds United, he slowly grew into a goal machine.
Yeah, Robbie's great. You know, as I say, he's the longest serving player, along with myself. Played with Robbie for a while now, and you know he's always been a great talent. You know, and, you know, he's had a hunger and passion for the game from a young age. You know, and the desire to win. You know, that's really rubs off on the team.
You know, I've done so well at this club because you know everyone's always been good to me, and I enjoy my football. And as long as you're enjoying your football as a player, you know, you've got a smile on your face, you know, it makes you play better.
His Spurs record is up there with the best of them, and in 2008 became only the 17th player to notch up 100 goals for the club.
Obviously, I'm delighted that I've scored 100 Premiership goals and certainly 100 goals, so over 100 goals for Tottenham. So, I mean, but I think, as I said, I think it's one of those there, you know, when I finish playing, that I'll look back and say, you know what, I've done okay there.
Then it's Roy Keane again, Robbie Keane, I should say, Robbie Keane.
And his favourite of those goals?
I think the one that maybe stand out for everyone is probably the one against Blackburn, I think.
The New Zealand international forced to concede the throw, which Schmidt has taken very quickly. Brilliant bit of skill by Keane. Brilliant! What a goal! Memorable! Robbie Keane with a wonderful individual goal and the celebration to match.
And the pinnacle of his career so far was the 2008 Carling Cup final, where the striker not only got to taste cup glory but also share in the captain's lift of the trophy.
As a player, you always want to win things, and growing up I always wanted to lift the trophy, and certainly at Wembley, I mean, and to have the opportunity to do that, you know, against Chelsea was great. I mean, and the way the game panned out as well, it was a fantastic game to watch. You know, and we certainly deserved to win the game. You know, it was a great honour and a great privilege for myself and Ledley to lift the trophy.
At the beginning of the 2008 season, Keane did move to the team he supported as a boy, but it didn't take long for him to realise that it was at Spurs where his home was and where he belonged, and he was back at the Lane as soon as it was possible.
It's been a fantastic club for me, you know, since day one. It certainly helped me, I think, to become a better player, and you know, the relationship that I have with everyone here, the supporters and you know, the players and everyone around the club, it's, you know, second to none, and things like that you never forget them.
And, you can see the enthusiasm when we're out there, and you know, his record is different class, and you know, I've enjoyed playing with him throughout my career.
Looking for a big start to his career, Birmingham City. Oh, what a mistake that by Murray. This is Keane. Quick thinking from Robbie Keane. But what a clanger from Murray to the Birmingham goal. Look at this. Didn't even look.
Another of the double side was Terry Medwin, a fleet-footed attacker who moved across the border from Swansea back in 1956.
And at that particular time for Swansea, I played outside right, inside right, centre forward, inside left, and left wing. I could play sort of anywhere, you know, versatile. Did the same for Wales as well. But no, it wasn't difficult to leave because we were such a good side at Swansea.
Of course, there were 3 Welsh boys around at the time in the team. I'm not sure whether they actually sang in the dressing room, but Mel Hopkins at fullback, and then Terry Medwin and Cliff Jones. I suppose it's, you know, you get a little faction like that, provided they don't spend all their time together, can be a good influence. And I'm sure that there clearly was a lot of competition between Medwin and Jones.
A great player who unfortunately suffered with injuries throughout his career, missing out on the majority of the double-winning season to Terry Dyson.
I did play in the first game, but if you got out injured at that particular time, no matter who you were or where you were, you had the battle fight to get back in, you know, and that was a good thing for Bull Nick. You know, we were all ready on our toes, ready to get back in the team if given the chance.
Medwin. And there it is, scored by Allen, number 3.
Unfortunately, sort of his career came to an end in a tour match in South Africa where he had a serious leg injury, and he had to sort of pack the game in. But Terry Medwin was one terrific all-round player.